Today wraps up voting for the 2022 elections, and to understand young votes specifically, I spoke with professors and students this week who told me about what it's like to vote as a student in the state of Arkansas. This week, I spoke to a Fayetteville local who was unable to get results and treatment for her dog towards the end of last year. Due to a shortage of veterinarians, Amber King had almost lost hope of saving her lifelong family member. I recently had the opportunity to speak with a chemical engineer major here at the U of A who shared with me the obstacles he's had to overcome due to his unstable and abusive upbringing. This month in the Ann Cottrell Gallery in the Arkansas Union, women are being showcased to give us a peek inside the culture and female influence they come from. Danielle told me she has even helped her tenants sign up as DoorDash drivers and Uber Eats drivers in order to help them make ends meet before their payments are due. A computer science engineer major at the U of A has made it his mission to serve a community he was once a part of. Adam also shared with me that the original price of these greenhouses was $1,800 per unit. Once he was ready to buy them, they had gone up to $3,200 per unit. I'm here outside of a voting center right off Dixon Street where a few people are making their ways to the ballots to cast their last-minute votes. Coming up, I'll tell you about the impact young voters had on this election. Quinn Childress was raised not far from where we are right now. Growing up in the neighborhood of Willow Heights in Fayetteville, Quinn experienced what no child should ever have to.
Some of the things that I would go through as a kid. I'm severely allergic to peanut butter, and one day I came home and my mom asked my sister and I what we would like to eat, and my sister loves peanut butter sandwiches, so my mom, who was drinking at the time, was she came back in the room with a bowl of peanut butter, and she poured peanut butter she rubbed peanut butter all over my face and inside my mouth, and that to me was a wake-up call to reality of how I had to grow up real quick, and that I realized that I was not in the childhood or situation like most people that I went to school with.
This was not Quinn's only experience with abuse. For him and his sister, this was a devastating cycle they lived every day.
She would wake us up in the middle of the night and she would have us clean the staircase. As you can see here, it's a two-story building, so she would whip us and at 2, 3 in the morning, and then we'd have to go to school in the morning and walk, and she would take a lot of our stuff and she would just randomly throw it away in that dumpster over there, and so when we come back home we would have to go into the dumpster to get stuff.
While speaking with Quinn, I learned this was nowhere near the end of his story. At the age of 17, Henry and Tanya Childress adopted Quinn and made him a part of their family.
People who are willing, who are able, any chance,
Quinn is president of Friends of the Yvonne Richardson Center. He has dedicated endless hours to ensure there is a safe, comfortable place for kids to come who may be growing up in a situation similar to his. Here, he has created a successful fundraiser that is life-changing for some children in Fayetteville. Quinn emphasizes the importance of this project and is forever grateful for how his life has changed.
You may be going through something like this, something similar, something worse, or something not as light or lighter, but I just want to challenge you that this is just perspective, and it's only temporary.
Now, beyond being a full-time student and president of Friends of the YRCC, Quinn also runs a successful mowing business here in Fayetteville called Willow Street Lawns, in honor of where he grew up. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Reagan Hubbard. In 2022, Arkansas farmers have had to increase the market price of their goods due to inflation. By the end of this year, Arkansas farmers are expected a 4.5% decrease in profitability. Bill Taylor has sold peaches at the Fayetteville Farmers Market for 40 years.
$8 a bucket.
He says this year, inflation combined with the war in Ukraine, his business has been impacted.
A commercial fertilizer that I was paying $350 a ton was $950 a ton. So it's about tripled.
Taylor says that's pretty much how it is across the board. An increase in diesel fuel prices also plays a part. Adam Gifford with Gifford Gardens has also had to adjust to being less equipped this year.
applied for a grant back in spring and put together kind of an extensive proposal, and thankfully I was accepted and approved, and they gave me the money, but it took so long to actually get that grant money that the prices of all the equipment I was buying had increased quite a bit. Getting 4 greenhouses and a dump truck.
Adam also shared with me that the original price of these greenhouses was $1,800 per unit. Once he was ready to buy them, they had gone up to $3,200 per unit. This causes him, as well as many other farmers, to not have the proper goods and equipment that they need. You can find these local farmers and many more on the Fayetteville Square on Tuesday and Saturday mornings. Reporting for UATV News, I'm Reagan Hubbard.
Hey girl! Hey girl!
A Fayetteville local and Bud Walton business alum, Amber King, has first-hand experience with the shortage of veterinary services. In 2020, there was a major increase in pet adoptions, likely due to the increase in time people were spending at home. While this is a great thing, it caused extreme delays for animals needing image screenings, such as x-rays or MRIs. This is Sissy, and she has been a beloved family member of the Kings for 11 years. In September of 2021, Sissy began acting lethargic and had trouble eating. After reaching out to many veterinarians in our area, King was told it would be months before they could get any results of Sissy's screenings.
During COVID, I think we've all heard that most people went and adopted a pet, but the industry within veterinarians were just not prepared for the surge of needs that all of the new pet owners would have.
King called veterinarians all over the state of Arkansas and was given the same answer time and time again. Thankfully for Sissy, King did not stop there.
We went to surrounding states and found Oklahoma State University, where we were able to get an MRI and find out that she indeed had a tumor the size of a lemon in her stomach. But again, we had to go and continue to look for surgeons outside of the state.
While speaking with Amber King, I learned that this issue affects pet owners everywhere. A dear friend of King's from college, Whitney Miller, was experiencing the same problem from her home in Manhattan in August of 2021. Miller's Shih Tzu poodle mix, Dorothy, began having back-to-back seizures and foaming at the mouth one evening. She was told by the animal ER she visited that it was unlikely they would have access to a dog neurologist or MRI machine for at least 4 months. After making some calls, she realized this was the standard for nearly the entire nation. Because King and Miller keep up regularly, King was able to get Miller in touch with the temporary veterinarian at OSU Hospital, Dr. Laura Nafe, that helped Sissy. The two termed the situation a true miracle.
So now Sissy is back to herself. She's running. The tumor was removed, and she is back to her old self. Lots of treats.
Thanks to OSU's veterinary hospital and particularly Dr. Nafe, both Sissy and Dorothy made a full recovery and have a long life ahead of them. On the bright side, according to rcvs.org, the employment of veterinarians is predicted to grow 17% from 2020 to 2030. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Reagan Hubbard.